Okay, so here's just a quick proportions review for you. So if you want to write this down, it would be great. So proportions are just two fractions that are equal. So when you reduce a fraction, so let's say you had 2/4 reduced it to 1/2, that just means those are technically equal. So you have two pieces out of four, where one piece out of two. So just think about it. This is half a pizza. So half a pizza just means the pizza is cut into two pieces, and you ate one of them. This one says, well, the pizza's cut into four pieces and you eat two of them. So even though you're still getting the same amount or it's the same equal part of it, it's just saying you had to have it in more pieces. So that would be like if you're going to go to a grocery store and you get a candy bar. I buy one and you buy one. The one that I buy is all in pieces. You buy one, it's all as a whole. Okay, it's still the same amount of a candy bar, it's just that I have mine in a whole bunch of pieces and you would have yours whole, which would be much better, but that's the way that works. All right, so when we're dealing with proportions, their cross products are equal. So if we multiply 1 times 4, that's 4. You multiply 2 times 2, that's 4. So those would be equal. So that's how we're going to determine if we have a proportion. So if we know the cross products are equal, what we're going to do is a little bit of algebra. It's not too bad because it's always a systematic way to solve these. So even if you don't like algebra, you can do these. All right, so if one number is missing, so let's say we gave you that 1/2 equals 2/4, and I left off one of the numbers. You would just do the cross products, pretend like the number's there, and then you would divide by the number with the variable. So you'll have to substitute a variable in for one of those. So let's look at this example. So if we have 6 over x, so this is my variable, equal to 36 over 24, and I want to find out what would make this true. I'm going to do the cross products. I'll do 6 times 24. There it is. And set it equal to x times 36, or 36 times x. Okay, so 6 times 24 is 144. You don't have to write this step. I'm just showing you what I did. The 144 is equal to the 36x. Now, with this 36 times x, that's how you write it. So if you're multiplying times a variable, you are literally just writing them next to each other. All right, step 2 is to divide by the number with the variable. So 36 was the variable, so I divide both numbers by 36, and it tells me that x is going to equal 4, and you're done. So that's how you solve a proportion. Again, if you need any of this, go ahead and pause your video and look at that. So the next one we're going to do, so I know you see my pretty picture. That was my preview. All right, so this one right here, let's go ahead and say, and for all these examples, let's just assume that they are similar triangles. So the first one here, I do have a triangle. There's two ways to set up this proportion, and you're more than welcome to use either way. I'm going to go ahead and show you the way that I kind of been showing in all the other videos, and then I'm going to show you another way that when you're doing these, to me, makes a little bit more sense. So the way I've been showing you on those videos is to match up the corresponding sides. So 6 would divide by 9, and then you would set it equal to, so 6 over 9, corresponding sides in a fraction. Okay, so what we're doing is the same thing we did before when we were showing that the proportional, we're setting up the proportions, but this time we're going to have to put a variable in for the side that we're looking for. Okay, so I went from left to right, and then I'm going to go from left to right, left to right. Now, again, I'm just going to use x. You can put the question mark in there if you want, no big deal. All right, so we are going to multiply 6 times x. Well, it doesn't matter. 6 times x, it doesn't matter which way you go. So as long as you do both of them. So I did 6 times x, I got 6x, and now I'm going to do 9 times 8, which is 72. All right, divide by the number with the x. So x is going to equal, I want to say 12. Double check me in case I'm wrong. All right, that's one way to set up. Now I'm going to use my little highlighter because we already did this one. I've already highlighted corresponding sides and did good. Okay, so we went from left side, left triangle, right triangle, corresponding sides. Left triangle, right triangle, corresponding sides. The other way you can do that is you can make a fraction out of the left triangle and set it equal to a fraction out of the right triangle. All right, so this fraction, 6 over 8, would be equal to this fraction, 9 over, and then the question mark is going to be the x. And then you would do the same thing. It's going to be the same process. You're going to do multiplication, and as you can see, these are set up almost identical. The only difference is these two are swapped, and since we're multiplying those two, it does not matter order. So I would do 6 times x. Okay, again, this direction, set it equal to 9 times 8, which is 72. And as you can see, those are identical. You would divide again with the number with the x. So x is equal to 12 still. Okay, so for the most part, you can set it up one or two ways. I happen to think earlier, corresponding parts, the way that I did that, I think that's easier. But when we're actually solving just a proportion, I think it's easier to take one triangle, make a fraction, and then just make sure if you're at the top with this one, that the 9's on the top. Okay, so 6 over 8 would be 9 over x. So they kind of match. They're already kind of sitting in proportions, if you ask me. All right, next example. I'm going to try my best to get rid of the work I just did out of the view so you can't really see it. Best I could. Okay, so this is again the same thing now. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and show you my little stack them kind of thing. So I'm going to take this and make a fraction and this and make a fraction. So this will be equal to this. So you see how they're already kind of sitting in my fractions for me. So I'm going to do 12 over 26 equal to 6 over, and again, you could put the question mark, but I would rather write an x than a question mark. All right. Yes, you could have done 12 over 6 equal to 26 over x. That would have been fine too. There's actually 4 ways to set up any proportion. All right, so you're going to do cross products. So 12 times x. I usually try to do the variable cross first, no matter where it is, just because I want the variable on the left side. That's it. All right, now I'm going to do 26 times 6, which is 156. Then you always divide by the number with the variable, which is 12. So I'm going to divide by 12. So x will equal 13. Done. All right. This one is not on this sheet, but there's something you have to draw one like this, or you're going to have to grab them off the internet, some pictures with a flagpole and a tree. This one has a mirror. You do not have a mirror on the one on this actual document. The reason I'm giving you this one, it's very similar to one you might see, let's say on a quiz. All right. So let's go ahead and look at this. I have a person, and this is going to be in the directions of it. I have a person who is looking at a mirror at the top of the tree. The person from the eye down is going to be 6 foot tall. Now, you can't really see that because I have it all jumbled up, but the person right here is 6 foot tall. All right, so that is the height. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to bring this little triangle part out so you can kind of see it. So the person's height right here is 6 foot tall. They are looking down at the triangle. Okay, and the distance they are from the mirror, looking down at the triangle, looking down, I'm looking to the triangle, looking down at the mirror, and the person is 2 foot from the mirror. Okay, so do you all kind of see a fraction there? What I can do. All right, the same thing's going to happen over here. I am 24 foot from the mirror, so there's this one. I am looking for the height of the tree. How tall is the tree? And hopefully that makes sense. We don't actually climb trees to measure them and drop a tape measure down. We use similar triangles. All right, so that's going to be my x. And then again, the eyesight right through here is looking at the top of the tree. So I have, let's see if you can tell again, I have an x over 24. So I have another fraction. So the left one equals the right one. So this one will be 6 over 2 equal to the right one, which will be x over 24. Right, now what you have, the hardest part's writing the equation. Now that you have it written, all you're going to do is your cross product. So now I'm going to do 6 times 24. And then 2 times x. So I multiply that one, multiply that way. Doesn't matter which side you put it on. Again, I like the variable to be on the left just out of habit. And then 6 times 24 is 144. Divide both sides by the number with the variable. You'll hear me say that a lot. So x will equal 72. So guess how tall the tree is? 72 feet tall. All right, guys, these are notes. So make sure you're taking these, looking at these. If you still have trouble with these, we will probably be in person when you're looking at these. I am going to be having my meeting open from 10 to 2:30 on Wednesday. I will try to have it open also all day long, even though we're going to be in person. That way, if you have a quick question, you can jump on. And if I'm busy, you will probably not see me at the seat. You can kind of just sit there and wait on me. All right. Still ask questions. Join me. Send me a remind. Say, hey, can we meet? Ask me a question. Take a picture. Send it to me via remind. There's lots of ways to ask questions. Please be utilizing those. All right, so good luck on this assignment.